Well there, folks, it is more Grand Tactician Civil War. There's a number of battles I think are about to start. We have Western Army, which was tracking the Department of the West, and I guess Department of the West turned around to fight us, so I think that this is going to be a battle. We have Army of Kentucky, Army of the Potomac converging on Indianapolis, and there are, let's see, 3 Union armies there. That might become a thing. Lee, his readiness is starting to suffer, but his destination was Pittsburgh. So when he gets there, we'll probably just have him hold until he gets his readiness back. But as I speak, Union national morale is getting pretty low. Other things are, I think, impressively high, but that is low. Union seems to have started to try to construct a number of supply depots. That's not the only one. There's one over here that they started working on, and they're not even taking the fights. They're just falling back. So that's that. But Lee is, he's the easternmost army. So that's saying something. I'm thinking about, in the waning days here of all of this, actually trying to construct a navy and just see what I get for it. So I might do that. I don't know. If there are no battles to play, then that's probably what I'll do. But I just thought I'd bring you in as an update. We got all this stuff. And yeah, it looks like everybody we're pushing is just running.
It is well that war is so terrible, or we should grow too fond of it. Robert E. Lee.
Okay.
Chapter 3.
Whoa, I've never made it to
A
Chapter
war so
3.
terrible.
This is impressive. I thought the game had ended because,
The vast
I did.
bodies of American men in
Let's see what this
companies,
is.
regiments, brigades, armies of tens of thousands strong, march to the beat of the drum, clashing, maneuvering, cheering, yelling, killing, perishing. The rebellion that was to be over in 90 days in a neat showdown is now a war so terrible that America has never before witnessed such ruin. From the ill-organized, poorly drilled, and equally poorly led mass of eager amateurs thrown at the mercy of modern firepower of Minié ball, shot and shell, disciplined armies of determined veterans emerge.
All right.
The innovations that
Holy
once
moly,
served
this goes
for
on.
economic growth and spreading civilization have now been harnessed to serve this terrible war. Steamships clad in iron navigate the waterways, while troop movements and logistical support utilize railroads, transforming war itself from Napoleonic to industrial, providing new means of slaughter in the fields of battle with never-before-seen efficiency. Having secured continuing support in Union policymaking for the time being, President Lincoln is determined to win the war, to again unite the nation. But the prolonged war and the mounting casualties are starting to take their toll, with the number of volunteers diminishing and political rivals in support of immediate peace with the South emerging with louder voices. To silence these voices, Lincoln needs decisive military victories. As long as the Union armies are victorious, so long the people will fight. If the willingness of the citizen to fight dies down, so will any hopes of restoring the Union. In the South, the war that was supposed to ensure independence, preferably with the support of the sympathizers of the Southern cause, has reached a point of no return, with the war dragging on and with a seemingly inexhaustible northern resources against them, chances of victory seem to slip farther into horizon.
Jeez, this thing is long.
For the South to prevail, decisive action must be taken to break the northern spirits and armies, to force them to award the southern states their independence in choosing their own destiny. That is their God-given right, even if achieving it means unprecedented suffering, want, and slaughter. War means fighting, and fighting means killing.
All right. Bloodiest war in America. Gain grand victories. Number of volunteers plummeting. Let's see if that's actually true. I could believe it, but... okay, so they're at 35. They got a little bit further to go. Is it true that the number of volunteers are plummeting? Let's see. We had 85,000 before. 79,000. That's probably because of the recent battle. Alright. My sense is this one is pretty close to being over because, well, I can look at the slider on the top and I can see that it's pretty close to being done. But Lee is coming down from Baltimore, having traversed all of southern Pennsylvania. It looks like he's going to scoot into Washington. The Union is at 28 morale, and I'm pretty sure losing Washington would be the end of it. I auto-resolve this battle here. It's pretty easy to do. These armies are supposed to keep on moving, but some of them I know have to stop and get their readiness back up or get supplies. So we've dispersed a little bit. McCullough really needs to rest up. Yep, so that should be, that should be the end of it. And it is November 25th, 1862. All right. Campaign is over. Most Civil War is ended. Okay. All right. Now we have this.
We are fighting for independence, and that, or extermination, we will have. Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederate States of America.
Okay.
Epilogue.
Oh, good.
Apostles of Disunion.
Huh, I wonder if that's because I chose those policies?
All the Confederacy asked was to be let alone. Instead, the states with which they were lately confederated attempted a subjugation by arms. But the sword in Southern hand was grasped tightly, and it was against this sword the Union, under its stubborn leader Lincoln, threw itself.
So stubborn.
Relying on the divine power that they believed covered with its protection the cause they held just, the Southern soldiers struggled for their freedom, independence, and self-government. And in this struggle, the Confederacy achieved the unbelievable. On the brink of an abyss into which they did not wish to look, against all odds, as all the might of the Union crashed against them, the ranks of Southern soldiers held firm. But it would be only after the bloody and heroic struggle for freedom the Confederacy's true demeanor would be revealed.
I feel like that voice has done the voice in every Civil War game.
And extreme states' rights
This guy.
principles, and
Narrated.
even during a war of survival against a common foe, plagued by internal feuds and petty rivalries, the apostles of disunion could find no comfort within another union of states, centrally governed.
Okay.
The idea of men depriving other men of their freedom would not succeed in the changing world. The question of slavery, the so-called divine institution the Confederacy was based on to protect, in its moral impossibility, would sooner rather than later threaten to implode the quarrelsome nation. And when that time comes, the Confederacy will be surrounded only by enemies, like hungry wolves, looking for any sign of weakness to exploit.
Okay. So that's how it ended. Man, my national support was... I do not know why it was so low. Or theirs so high. Their morale of armies was superior. It's hard to believe. And the only thing I think of is that my army's morale were low because they were on the march and sometimes hungry. That's all I can think of. Confederate total dominance. Never did finish building that navy. It takes a while. Huh. I thought there used to be newspaper articles or something that kind of told you how things wrapped up. Anyways, folks, that is the end of that campaign. At long last, it actually wasn't that long. But we'll have to start a new one at some point. But, yeah, it felt completely playable. Whatever the shortcomings of it were, I think I mentioned them in some of the videos. At the campaign level, overall Union recruitment was good early on, but there just was not enough artillery. So I don't know what changes are made, but I would say get more artillery. I would also say make more of the blockade. It seemed like there was a lot of blockading up around Virginia and maybe North Carolina, but I didn't see anything south of that. And it made us invest quite a bit in blockade running, and we were okay at it once we invested it. But, yeah, I would say that would be that. Of course, tactically, getting the AI to make and use entrenchments would help. Making it so that the player can make and use entrenchments during battle would help. But I think it was pretty good. I don't know, that's just me. Alright, hope you enjoyed it all. And, hope to get another one of these started at some point in the near future.